Well, it looks like the Clippers are gonna clip. It looks like they're just gonna repeat history, and here we are after game one, already this early, and I'm already starting to have my doubts when it comes to the Los Angeles Clippers. I didn't think I would have this much doubt already when it comes to the Clippers, because I thought because of the additions that they made, the trades and acquisitions that they made over the offseason, that they're gonna come out this season with vengeance, and they're gonna start playing like they have something to prove, but that is not the case. That is not the case in even the closest scenario. And basically, we're gonna analyze what we saw out of game one and basically what I think about the game overall, and I'm going to discuss what I believe is going to be happening in this series. But before we get into today's video, yo, what is up guys? It is your boy and I'm back here giving y'all another banger. And since I'm giving y'all another banger, if y'all could go ahead and drop a like on this video, it'd be much appreciated, and please subscribe if you enjoy basketball content. If you clicked on this video, you already know what's going on. The Clippers just lost to the Dallas Mavericks, literally game one. I was really excited for today because we were seeing all these playoff games, and I'm really happy about what we're seeing. But I was most excited to see what type of energy are the Clippers going to come out with. Are they going to finally approach playoff games the same way that the Clippers always approach Lakers games? Because we all know that when it comes to the Los Angeles Clippers, they get up and play for the Los Angeles Lakers. They'll do everything they can to try to defeat the Lakers. They'll go try hard mode. They'll die for loose balls. They'll do everything. But look what happens when they play another team. Look what happens when you have to start beating teams in order to get the Lakers, and you're seeing it right in front of your eyes again. The attention to detail from the Clippers was so bad, and it's so baffling to me that a team that has so much to prove is playing like this. You would think that they would have come out high energy, they would play with a high intensity from the start, but that's not the case. They came out lackadaisical, they came out flat, and if we're keeping it 100, they didn't look that great. They didn't look great at all. Paul George looked horrific, especially in that first quarter and first half. He wasn't that great. Kawhi Leonard himself was just okay. As a team, they just weren't that great. And you saw Luka Doncic and the Mavericks take advantage. They were hitting threes, they were getting into the paint, they were really getting the shots that they wanted, and they were also making some of their shots difficult on the defensive end. I don't want to give too much credit to Dallas because they're really not that great of a defensive team, but man, it's just incredible to watch professional athletes like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, who are supposed to be superstars and perennial all-stars in this NBA, but for whatever reason, whenever you call upon them in the clutch, they're really not that great. Kawhi and Paul George in the clutch are not that great. They have never been a great clutch team, and you're seeing that even in the playoffs. I do want to give credit to Rajon Rondo, who was great. I think he was like 3 for 5 or 3 for 4, something like that. He was shooting really well, and he was playmaking for others, so you see that they did make acquisitions that were actually helping. But what I always try to say is that the reason that they lost is because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George did not play up to standards. And it doesn't matter what Rajon Rondo does. If Kawhi doesn't play like Kawhi and Paul George doesn't play like Paul George, then nothing else matters. You're gonna need superstars in this league in order to win championships. And if they're not playing like superstars, it's never gonna work. And I've been trying to say that this entire time about the Clippers. They got name brands, they got players who can play, but when it comes to clutch and when it comes to adversity, they don't respond to adversity. Every time they're called upon, they fold in the clutch, and it's so apparent to me that I don't understand why people even fall for this. Now again, I do have the Clippers winning in 7. I still believe that it's possible for them to win in 7, but neither the Clippers or the Mavericks are going to win this series in less than 7 games. This will be a 7-game series, and I'll say this, it is a must-win game 2 when it comes to the Clippers. They have no other choice but to win game 2. If they walk into game 2 and lose, then you're headed back to Dallas for a game 3 and 4, where you're probably at best going to walk away with a split. You're not winning both games. You're probably going to win at least one and then lose one, which means that you're probably going to go down 3-1 against Luka Doncic. And while we don't have Luka's history to see if he's going to collapse, something tells me that Luka is not going to fold with a 3-1 lead, and he can at least get you one more game in order to close out the series. So like I said, this is a must-win game 2 when it comes to the Los Angeles Clippers. If they don't respond to adversity in this next game, it's over. I will put up my hands and I'll say, you know what, it won't even go 7 games. They'll probably lose in 6 or something like that, because they just can't seem to respond to adversity. It's just so crazy how when they're called upon, they just fold. Paul George isn't that great in the clutch. Kawhi Leonard needs someone else to set him up in order for him to score. If you give Kawhi Leonard the ball and say, hey, go get a bucket, he's really not that great at it, or at least he won't be as efficient as he would be if someone else were setting him up. Again, I just think it's funny how one team can instill this much doubt into you after one game. Even the Lakers, when I saw them playing against the Warriors and they were playing bad, even if they had lost that game and were going to go on to play the Memphis Grizzlies, I would still have confidence that they would be able to take on the Grizzlies with ease. For me, when I see the Clippers having to respond to adversity, I see a team that just doesn't know what to do. I feel like they don't have any guidance, they don't have any leadership, they don't have a person that they can turn to and be like, you know what, we got this. And while Kawhi Leonard is great, I just don't see him as great as a LeBron James or even a Steph Curry or Kevin Kevin Durant. I just think that he's a quarter step below that, and he needs other players and the perfect system in order for him to thrive. But if you start to ask Kawhi Leonard to become the system or to take over or something like that, while he can do that in some games, you can't do that to Kawhi Leonard when you ask him to do it. If you're like, Kawhi, we need 50 points, it really doesn't work like that. Kawhi can get 50 if he's in the flow of the game and he's already hot. But I don't think he's someone that you can just automatically call upon and he's going to go ahead and just drop 50 for you just because you asked. I don't think he's like that. And like I was saying, the Clippers have already instilled an absurd amount of doubt in my mind when it comes to them. I just don't trust them to pull this out. And I really am worried because I really do believe Luka Doncic can walk out with a win. I do believe that if he approaches this the right way with this series and the coaching staff handles this the right way, they can actually upset the Clippers. It's not impossible. Luka is that good. So if Kristaps can stay healthy or at least not get ejected, they can actually make a run at the Clippers, and it is going to be up to the Clippers for all of us to watch them on game 2 to see if they can respond to the challenge that the Dallas Mavericks have posed to them. Tuesday night, I feel like we're actually going to see what the Clippers are made of, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to respond to all the criticism, all the doubt, and all the adversity that there's going to be coming their way. But if they can't, man, I really do believe that the Mavericks can come back and they can really take over this series. And if Kawhi isn't careful, it'll happen. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much. If you listened this far, please drop a like on the video. We much appreciate it. And please subscribe if you enjoy basketball content. Please check out my other videos if you enjoy basketball content. And please subscribe if you haven't already. But without further ado, guys, I am out. Peace.